All right, brothers and sisters, the game against Witty Alien was crazy. He likes to play the elephant gambit, so it immediately went into an elephant gambit. And I was playing with the white pieces. So the thing I know about I don't really know a lot about the elephant gambit, but what I know about chess principles is you shouldn't be doing a pawn break if your king is in the center of the board. The thing is, my king is also in the center of the board, but I knew that he was playing with the black pieces. So even though both of our kings in the center of the board, it's going to be easier for me to get castled, especially since I already moved one of my pieces. So my king is now 2 moves away from castling. He still has to move his knight and his bishop in order to get castled. So I also decided to break that principle. Hey, I tell you guys, sometimes if you want to be good at chess, you have to know the principles, but understanding the principles will help you or direct you so that way you can know when to break them. So he took on d4. I took on d5. He decided to get his queen out too early. What did I do? Got my queen out early as well. I mean, he's breaking principles. I'm breaking them. I just want to keep the tempo in. And this is all I'm thinking about. My king is 2 moves away from castling. His king is about 3 moves away from castling. That tempo is going to be very useful. So to take is a mistake. Obviously, he didn't take my queen because then it improves my knight. So he decided to develop his knight. So that way, if I take his queen, it improves his knight. So what did I do? I know that to take is a mistake. So I play the move knight c3, developing my knight. So I'm still getting my pieces out with tempo. Now I'm attacking his queen, which means he took the queen and helped my knight to get to a good score. So now I'm 2 moves away from getting castled. He's also 2 moves away from getting castled. But I have a very strong knight in the center of the board. I have 2 pieces developed. He only has 1 piece developed. And then he played a6. That's an unnecessary pawn move. I mean, maybe he wanted to defend against knight to b5, but you just have to develop, bro. Like, you probably have to just play something like bishop d6, knowing that knight b5 is coming, and then just run. And at least you could see I'm not in the center anymore. Because then, okay, maybe I take the bishop, but you're not losing. Because now my king is in the center. And now there's moves like, okay, let's say bishop f4 hit the pawn, check, bishop goes to f5, hit c2. But anyways, he decided to play a6, and I was like, okay, that king is not leaving the center anymore. So I play the move bishop to g5 because now I'm trying to either double up the pawns, keeping the king in the center of the board, so I can castle my king and put my rook on this file. And then he played knight d7, so he defended against that. My king is now out the center of the board. Guy's king is still in the center of the board. And then he decided to play h6. And then I pulled the bishop back to h4, which was obviously a mistake. I mean, that was not the move. I needed to play an in-between move here. Just check. Like, you see, I'm being too reactive. The guy attacks my bishop. The king is in the center. Boom. Forcing moves. Because now if he blocks with the bishop, still don't move the bishop. Boom. Apply pressure to his pin bishop. And then if he moves his king, then mission accomplished. So now we can just move the bishop. I didn't do that. So I pulled the bishop back, and then he played g5, and then I pulled the bishop back again. This is bad. Remember, this is bad. And that's when I was like, oh, wait, he's trying to castle. Get back to plan. The plan is to keep his king in the center. And then I found the move. So now his king is no longer in the center. So mission accomplished. From here, it's just about ensuring that all the pieces are active and we use the initiative that he gave us. So now we're looking to play moves on his half of the board. And because the bishop on g7 is unprotected, we hit him with knight to f5. Not developing this bishop. Like, I'm going to be developing my bishop. Don't worry. Like, guys, king is in the center. This bishop is not doing anything. This rook is not doing anything. I can get away with an attacking move. Plus, he undeveloped his bishop. So I moved forward, he stepped backward, and then I played bishop to c4. You see? So it's not like I'm trying to not develop my pieces. Sometimes you have to break a little principle, get. Back on track. So now I'm hitting f7. Guy plays knight b6, counter-attacking my nice move because my bishop is unprotected, it's under attack. My knight is unprotected and it's also under attack. So now I have 2 pieces under attack. Which one of them do I move? None. You see? You're not thinking. The guy's king is in the center of the board. Hit him with rook to d1 check. We're going for the king. All my pieces are active. White has to be better here. Then he blocks with the bishop. And then just like that, white is winning. Because if you're able to count, I have one, two, three pieces on his bishop. He only has one piece on the bishop. So once I take, I'm going to be winning material. So I took, he took, I took, and we managed to get a pawn out of all of that. But his king is still in the center of the board. His pawn on f7 is still hanging. I mean, maybe he wants to take my bishop, but his pawn on f7 is hanging. So he decided to take the bishop still, and I didn't take the knight. I took the pawn. Now it's a double check, and I'm going to be winning his rook. So he moves the king. I grab the rook. You guys are going to be seeing the live game. And then he plays bishop to f5. He's trying to trap my knight. Now it's weird because if you look on the position, after I try to save the knight, my knight has no squares. So once he plays the move rook to f8, I'm like, okay, my knight is under attack. Where do I put the knight? Okay, I got a bit ahead of myself there. That's what I that's what I thought when I was playing the game. The knight is not trapped. There's knight takes h6. Anyways, all of that I just said that was incorrect information. But I thought the knight was trapped. And because I thought the knight was trapped, I decided to counterattack his knight. That was what I was thinking. Was a mistake. Would have been best to take on h6, hit his bishop, maybe play b3 after. But I hit his knight. He plays knight to a2. Now my knight is under attack, and c2 is hanging. And then I just pulled the knight out. So, I mean, I'm ahead in material, those are some inaccurate moves. I hit the bishop, he moves the bishop, and then I just swing the last piece in the game. Because you have to ensure that all the pieces are in the game. Now every single piece is in the game. I'm ahead by 3 points. And then he plays knight back to b5. If you look on my two knights, I have two pieces on the b5 square. He only has one piece on the b5 square if he puts his knight on b5. So that's another mistake. So now I just take, we win another pawn. You see, we're getting the small advantages. Now we're ahead by 4 points. And then he played king to b6. And then I just pulled the knight back to c3 because the knight was under attack. I mean, I could have played a4 to guard the knight. So he pins the knight. I guarded it with the king. And then he played bishop to h5. Now, while I was playing the game, I thought I should have played rook to e6 check first, and then I take. That would have been better. Because if he blocks with the rook, I mean, I'm ahead in material, I want to trade. And if he moves the king, I take, bishop is unprotected. And if he takes, no, two pieces are unprotected. So he has to trade the rooks, and that would have been winning. I missed it though. And instead, I was being a bit too reactive. I guarded the knight, and then he moved the bishop, then I checked him. So now it's just over because I'm trading pieces off the board. I just have 4 points, so now we're in the end game. And now I'm just trying to capture his pawns. He also blundered the bishop, but he didn't really have a lot of time on the clock. And then I took, and from here it was just moving the pieces around, until I eventually, finally, checkmated. Witty alien rematch.
Elephant chiki.
And he's coming with his elephant gambit.
Bro, everybody plays this boring line, I'm telling you.
Just get all the pieces active. Always been the game plan. Probably should have checked. Hitting this pawn.
Castle for is too late.
All right, that king. I don't want that king leaving the center. Let's hit the bishop.
My pushing is terrible.
Hit this pawn. King. That king is getting mated, bro. Sorry. That king is mated. Sorry, bro. That. Okay. Okay, I'll take a free pawn. That's a rook, buddy. Okay, let's not get that knight trapped. Let's not lose that knight. Hit that bishop. All right. She's fast, so we have to be super fast here. Okay, don't mind another free pawn, bro. Oh, I'm so weak. Good. Now we're going for mate, bro. We're going for mate. Maybe a free bishop.
Oh.
All right, he's not gonna resign. So we have to ensure that we don't get flagged. But now we just roll the pass pawn. Hit the knight. Roll the pass pawn, Witty. Roll the pass pawn, Witty. Yo. I have no time on the clock. Were you not entertained?
Oh,
Ah, my gambit, my legacy.
playing so badly. GG, well played. Ah,
Oh, I'm black this game, and he played e4. I played the French defense, and he decided to play the Tarash variation of the French defense. So, I just play knight f6. This is like the regular way how to play against it. He attacks the knight, we go back to d7, and then after f4, already we're seeing dark square weaknesses being created around the king. Like he's a very aggressive player though, so it's very important that you know how to counter attack like just to see like every pawn move that someone plays, it leave weaknesses behind. So if you're able to see that, then you should be fine. And in the French defense, the whole idea is to attack the dark squares. So that's what I'm doing, immediately attacking his pawn chain. So c3, hit the pawn, he guards it, and then I go bishop to e7. This is me just developing. And then he played bishop d3, and I was like, I have to be very careful here because I'm playing against Witty. So after rook to b8, he played h4. He's actually preparing for me to castle. So I had to just not castle here and just break principles. Because if I had been a very principled player and castle the king, he would have sacrificed his bishop on h7. And after my king takes, he plays knight g5, check the king. If I pull the king back, he plays queen h5, and then there's nothing I could do to prevent checkmate. If I put the king on g6, he plays queen g4, and then there's nothing I could do to prevent some checkmating ideas. That would have been like a great gift sacrifice. So what I did, I decided to counter-attack on the queen side. Because whenever someone is attacking you on one side, you want to either counter-attack in the center or on the other side. So I countered on the queen side. He castled his king. Now his king is no longer, now his rook is no longer pointing towards h8. So I was thinking about castling, and then I played b5, just to continue my attack because I know who I'm playing against, Witty alien. So eventually, when you're playing against aggressive players, something very aggressive is going to come, but you just have to brace yourself for it. So I was like, okay, he just played knight g5. He's going to be sacrificing something. So I was like, okay, something is about to be sacrificed. I need to ensure that I get my pieces in a place where I can counter attack. So I played queen to b6. So it's like, okay, boom, I'm putting my queen on the same diagonal as his king. I'm ready for the counter attack. I am attacking. I'm not like, okay, the knight is on my half of the board. Let me just get rid of the knight. Because if I play that, that would be a mistake. Once he takes the rook, get the file, the queen comes in, and everything is going to be over for me. And if I play pawn to h6, he's going to sacrifice on e6, and then the queen joins the attack. And I'm just going to be in trouble there. So what I did, queen b6, and then he decided to sacrifice his knight on f7. I knew a sacrifice would have come. So I played king takes f7. He played queen to h5 check. And then I played g6. All of this is forced. And then he played bishop takes g6, sacrificing his bishop again. But what you have to keep in mind is he already sacrificed a knight. Now that he sacked his bishop, I get 6 points. But then he took my rook. So he's ahead by a point, but my position is very active. So what I did, I didn't immediately took on d4. I want you guys to notice how I have 1, 2, 3 pieces pointing towards d4, and my queen is on the same diagonal as his king. But I also noticed that my rook is on the same line as his queen, and I need to finish my development. My king is not safe. His rook is on the same line as my king. So I play the move, bishop to a6, immediately hit the rook. And then he starts to attack my king. And I was like, okay, I'm going to run. King to e8. He took the pawn with check, run. King to d8. And then he took another pawn. Now, I'm able to take his rook. So he basically just left his rook hanging. I mean, he probably should have moved his rook. But then if he moved his rook, my idea was just to grab this. And then I'm just doing fine here. Like, black is slightly better here. But he took the pawn. I grabbed the rook. He took, and then I took the pawn. Takes, knight takes. And I'm like, okay, I won the pawn. I'm attacking the queen. I'm assuming he's going to trade the queen. And that's another thing that you guys want to do. When you're playing against aggressive players, if you're good at endgame, just bring them in the endgame. So I was like, okay, he's going to take my queen. I take on b6, and then we win the endgame because the position is equal. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. He has 1, 2, 3 pieces. But he has a bunch of pawns. So now I just need to blockade those pawns, like 4 passed pawns. But once I start winning them, I should be able to win. Instead, he decided to keep the queens on the board, playing queen to g8 check. Now, once I move my king, my rook is attacking his queen, and my queen is on the same line as his king. So he was like, okay, my queen is under attack. Let me save the queen. But then he just blundered the whole entire game because black has mating 2 here. And all I did was I played the move knight f3 check. It's a double check. So the king has to move. And then queen to g1 is just a checkmate. All right, we're playing against Witty Alien. It's a Tarash variation of the French. Yeah, my goal from here is just to counterattack the queen side, to be honest. Let's see. Let's go here. That's the move. He's going to sacrifice something. Yeah, I was expecting that. All right, so now we're just going to run. Now we run. Okay, let's grab that. Guy's being very kind to us. Let's grab that as well. And now we just win the end game. Okay. All right, this is now just mating 2, right? Discover check. King has to move. And that's mate, bro. Good game.